Hello again, everyone. Welcome back. Well, today I'm reviewing a new cigar from Crowned Heads. This is a Vitola addition to the Court Reserve 18 line. This is the full court press, 5 and 7/8 by 52. There's your density. Now, this is just the only box press in the line. John Huber came up with the idea of watching the NBA playoffs and full court press, court reserve. This is not a royalty type court. They mean like their fans as the court. So that is, let me give you a little information here. This uses a Mexican and San Andreas wrapper, Ecuadorian binder, Nicaraguan filler. There are other sizes, and if you look back through the archives and on the blog, you'll see where I did this review. I believe it was on the Sublime 6x54. I can't remember. I'm working from memory, but we did one of those, and it did very well. So, long and the short of it, as they say, let's get right to it. The new Crowned Heads Court Reserve 18 full court press. All right. That's a very nice looking band, wouldn't you say? Of course, it says the Crowned Heads at the foot. We need to remove that, and either it'll slide off or should peel right off. Let's see which one's going to do first. We're going to go with slide. So we'll deal with it a little later. All right. So now we've got a somewhat quasi dull point to deal with, which should be easy enough. Like that. Effortless draw. Very nice. My first flavors are a cedar, some brown sugar, and a little bit of cinnamon. Quite a bit of a doughy type nutmeg. Really grouping everything together. The nutmeg is surrounding almost all those first flavors I described. Nice chocolate notes. I would call it a sweet chocolate at this point, and a lot of very dark roasted black coffee. Black pepper at about 7.5 plus. I don't think it's quite what I'd call an 8, but it's quite a bit of black pepper to start with. So that's how you start. I hope you understand what I mean by that first description. There's nice cedar with some brown sugar and cinnamon, but there's right away, and it's sort of all around it, that nutmeg. And it's almost a doughy type consistency is the way it tastes. So that is how we start. First third. And by this point, some of that doughy nutmeg has toned down. Definitely not gone away. The black coffee notes are a little more in the forefront, but you still have the cedar, which is sort of decreased, some brown sugar, some cinnamon, the nutmeg with just a touch of that doughiness down, but it's nutmeg. We'll call it maybe like a regular nutmeg. The chocolate notes are sort of decreased and the coffee notes have increased. Got that? Same notes, but different percentages. Finishes just sort of sweet cream, a little nutmeg, and just a drop or two of chocolate. Medium bodied at this point. Cigar is pretty good. It's just sort of different than how it started, but it's not a bad different. I did look back at my review I did, which was in 2018, and it was the Sublime, just to see when I did it. But this cigar is not totally different from the way that one was, but it's a little different. So I'm starting the first third off at 92 with some anxiousness to see how we go from here. But pretty good first third. Into the second third. And the cigar changed. It's gotten much darker. There's an unsweetened dark chocolate and a lot of black coffee. The front end flavors that I spoke of before, there's very little of the cedar, very little. Basically, no brown sugar and cinnamon, or very little, very, very little. Nutmeg, still in abundance. A lot of dark chocolate that is unsweetened, and a lot of black coffee. Medium to full. Finish is much more nutmeg. Some dark chocolate. That's about it. Oh, the lingering black pepper is pretty good. I don't even think I mentioned that before, but the lingering black pepper is pretty good. But the cigar is turned, gotten lots much darker. Not a significant amount of sweetness to it, so I will lower the score. I went back and forth on what to lower it to, but based on what I believe, I'm lowering it to 90. It just went dark. It's one of those things. If you like a dark noted cigar with not much sweetness, there we go. The final third will pretty much tell the tale. Is it going to bounce back or get even darker? Well, we're down to the end. So let's wrap it up. We have our answer. It went darker. There is an abundance of unsweetened dark chocolate and a dark roasted black coffee. Very little of the cedar. I don't know if you could say there's any brown sugar or cinnamon. And even the nutmeg decreased. So it's, at this point, straight out dark. Finish is unchanged, medium to full. I'm lowering the score at 89. The cigar started out pretty good. Here at the end, it's not something I would want to smoke again. Averaging it out, the overall score, 90.33. So it's right there at the Mendoza line with me, 90 being that line. But some of you may like this, and that's fine. I'm just trying to describe the flavors, and that's what you should expect. What I'm telling you. So basically, that'll do it. The Crowned Heads Court Reserve 18 Full Court Press, 90.33.